Hey, y'all. Today we have another boss woman. This woman may not be a woman of a certain age, but one day she will be. She had me at the word self-care. I think that's the thing that women, especially women of a certain age or even younger, women tend not to take care of themselves. So today we're going to talk to Brittany Lewis, who I have personally called Jennifer, but Brittany Lewis, who is the creator of 100 Hugs and Kisses. I think that's the name because I
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
Oh,
100 XOXO. Yes, 100 hugs and kisses is what it means.
okay. Could you tell us a little bit just about yourself?
Mhm. Yes, and thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And so my name is Brittany Lewis, and I am the founder and CEO of 100 XOXO, which is a self-care lifestyle brand that I wanted to create to inspire and encourage women to prioritize self-care in their life. I myself am a mother of 3 kids. Of My oldest is 18, my youngest is 6, and so I kind of have the whole range. And so I dealt with a lot of mom guilt and just having a hard time finding time for self-care for myself, being busy with my 3 kids. Also, been through a divorce and was taking care of my grandmother, my late grandmother, who my business name is inspired after. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I just kind of wanted to create a space for women and other people to be able to embrace and enjoy self-care.
I think sometimes women, we get this idea that we have to be all for everybody else. Uh, I,
Mhm.
I came from public school. My career was in public school for the most part, and my best friend was in another city over, but hers was in that too. And she would tickle me because our kids were about the same age. And so what she would do for self-care, and I thought it was really, it's a genius. She would get up like she was coming to work, like she was
Mhm.
going to work and get everybody ready, her son, her husband. She said, then I would grab the paper, go out and have a long, leisurely breakfast. She
Yeah.
said, go home, wash my makeup off, and do nothing, take a nap, do whatever. She said about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I put my clothes back on. She said, but if I stayed home, then everybody would want to stay home with me. She said, so
Yeah.
that was the thing. And I think I had my favorite minister told me one time, well, he told the whole congregation, he said, we need to get up in the morning and just listen to God.
Mhm.
You have too many things going. You reach for your phone, you're looking at the news, you're doing this, you're doing that. So yeah,
Mhm.
I understand with 3 kids, and yours are they run the gamut of teenager almost grown, all the way down to a
Right.
baby. Yeah. So when you think about self-care, what do you do for self-care besides your products?
So for me, self-care means like a lot of different things, and depending on the time or what I have going on. But I'll say the main thing for me is, and this is kind of funny, but I get my eyelashes done every 2 weeks. I get an eyelash fill, and I've been doing it, I want to say, for the past like 3 years or so, and it just makes me feel so much better. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big thing. I don't even have to be going anywhere, but just taking that time for myself every 2 weeks. Like, I know every 2 weeks I'm going to go. I'm gonna get to lay down. Me and my esthetician, we have a really good relationship. So we talk, we gossip, she listens to all my business. And so I just have like those hour and a half, maybe sometimes 2 hours just to myself, to where, I'm not doing anything for anybody else. Nobody's asked. Well, I take that back. Sometimes my kids will call me. I keep my earphones in. And so sometimes my kids will call me, telling on each other, asking for stuff, but that's my time. And so my main self-care act that I do on a consistent basis, my routine, is getting my lashes done.
Okay, I'm like you. Mine is I get a facial once a month. People said, "Do they
Right.
work?" I was like, "It's relaxing," and I know the esthetician. She sets aside time for us just to talk. So that is the one thing that I hardly ever cancel. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not getting into nails or whatever because they can do what they're going to do. I'll get them done, but that is my time. I think it's really important, and I think it's something that's learned. I think if we look back, especially if I look back at my mom and my grandmother, they were always the ones that took care of everybody. And we do it because we like to do it, and
Right.
we don't know how to say no. Yeah, we don't know how to say no. And when you said you took care of your late grandmother, that's something that will bless you the rest of your life.
I
That is,
pray.
that it will bless you. Okay, you had me when I don't know how you popped up on my Facebook timeline. So then I start researching, and like I said, you had me at self-care. So tell us a little bit about your company.
Yes, and so we offer, I like to say self-care essentials. So we have a self-care box that's offered, like it's a one time. If you just want to, do something for yourself, you can buy a self-care box and enjoy all the contents of the box. Or if you really like it, you can subscribe and you can get a self-care box every month. In 2024, we're going to switch to quarterly, but you'll get that self-care box on a regular routine basis. And it has different self-care products in them, a different theme each time you get a box. And then I also like to include a woman Black-owned business in each box as well. So you're getting to know another product, getting to learn a new product and something that if you like, you can go and purchase it, more of yourself. And then I also offer inspirational journals and planners because my first love is journals. I started journaling a really long time ago. And so I was able to create journals. I feel like that reflected us, as African-American women, and also planners to kind of help with the productivity and help keep you organized, and also other self-care gifts like bath salts and mugs and things like that, that all kind of incorporate self-care.
Mhm. What comes in one? What are some of the products that comes in
Oh, I
your?
can show you. I have one. So this is the box.
Mhm.
And so this was, I believe, August self-care box. And so this one had bath salts. The name of the box was Sweet Dreams. And so it has bath salts in it. This beautiful, luxurious, it feels so good. And it has lavender and peppermint oil, and it's a calming butter. And so you
Oh,
can put that on, after you get your bath or shower and you get ready for bed. Also, these are in here is a essential oils. So it's a lavender eucalyptus oil you can kind of rub on your wrist and help relax you and calm you down for bed. And also it comes with like the satin scrunchie to put your hair up, as well as the eye mask, and
wow.
also a satin pillowcase.
Oh, okay.
So this
Okay.
was August self-care box. And so they all usually contain about 5 to 6 items, and they all kind of have the same theme around them. So this one was Sweet Dreams. So help you go to bed, help you create a nighttime routine for yourself.
Okay. I like those. And I especially like what you said about the calming. I like the
Mhm.
calming version. Okay. Now you talked about journaling. So do
Yeah,
you meditate?
I do. I don't journal as much as I like to because I've been really busy, but I've been wanting to kind of create a morning routine for myself where like you were saying, just we usually grab our phones in the morning, like that's the first thing we do. And I'm really trying to break myself from that, especially with getting my kids ready for school. Sometimes I'll get stuck scrolling and I'm like, I gotta break this, but it's a bad
Mhm.
habit. And so just kind of putting the phone down, waking up, saying my prayers and doing, my journaling and, dropping my kids off and coming back and making sure I'm taking care of myself before I'm starting work. And so, yes, I don't journal as much as I like to, but I'm definitely have it in my mind to start back.
Okay, and when you talked about saying your prayers, and people always say, well, I don't meditate. I consider praying meditation,
Mhm.
Everybody just does things different. It's sort of like taking yoga, and people will say, oh, I can't do that because they do this. Well, I'm not meditating, I'm praying. So
Mhm.
I think sometimes we as like I said, as women, I don't know if it's you or just me, I can be sitting down and think, I'm just gonna sit here and look over in that corner and see some dust and get up
Right.
and have to do it. But everybody in my
Mhm.
house has walked past that dust. It's like it's fine.
Right.
It's fine. So
Yeah.
when you do journal, do you just write your thoughts for the day? I don't journal that much. I scribble.
Mhm.
You can find like 5 or 6 books in my house, and I have scribbled something in there. And I think as a child, I would do it because if people made me mad, I would write it down and tell why I was angry because,
Right.
that was my way of getting it out. So,
Exactly.
what do you put down in yours? Because I know it's not a set pattern for everybody. Everybody
Mhm.
with different.
So yeah, and I have multiple journals. I have like a blank journal where, like you said, scribble. Like if I need to get something out, something's bothering me, I'll just, write it in my blank journal. I also have journals that are guided. I think I have one here. Yeah. So my most recent journal, this one, it's a self-love journal, but on the inside, there's some prompts to kind of help you, how you feel today. What am I grateful for? What do I love about myself? And then also an area where you can reflect on that. And so that lately I've been liking guided journals better, because sometimes it is hard to just think of something to write if it's not on your heart or on your mind. And so I think that helps me. I like doing guided journals, but I also, like I said, I have blank journals. I started journaling. I was 11. My mother passed away when I was 11 years old. And I remember the day she passed away, family come over, and I had a cousin, she came over, she brought me a journal, a blank journal. And so that was for me when I started journaling, just having so many emotions and feelings and not knowing what to do with them, but getting them out, instead of holding them in. And so that's one of the reasons why I love journaling and having the option to journal.
I like the idea of journaling. Like I said, when I was a child, when I was about 11 or 12, that would be it. As children from East Texas, you were taught, you didn't talk back to adults, you didn't do this. So I would write down things, and they got a little tired of me asking questions, so I would write it down. What gave you the idea to come up with a self-care line?
I was at a place in my life where I was not taking care of myself. Like I was, like I said, I had recently at that point been divorced for a few years at that point. And then I was just in a job where I didn't have any time to do anything for myself. The job was taking 12, 14 hours out of my day, to where I couldn't stop to barely cook dinner. And so I had a manager at the time, and she would be like, "No, Brittany, like, take your time." She's like, "I take my time. If I need to, I have an appointment, a standing appointment with my chiropractor. I get a massage every month. Like, I'm going to stop. I'm going to take my time." And she just kept telling me that on my one-on-ones. I was stressed. I had so much going on. She was like, "No, take time for yourself." And I was like, "You're right. Like, if I don't, like, I cannot be there for my kids. I
Mhm.
can't do my job, my work job." And so just having those conversations with her really inspired me to take time for myself. And in that, other people were responding to it, like people on like social media, Instagram and Facebook, they were like, "Oh, you look like you're having so much fun. You're doing this, you're doing that." And I'm like, I am. Like, I'm discovering things about myself that I didn't know before. Being intentional for me was the main thing. And so being intentional about what I'm doing, who I'm spending time with myself, making sure that I am spending time with myself, by myself, it just made me feel so much better. I feel like, be a better mother to my kids, be a better daughter to my dad, better sister to my sister, a better friend in general. I just felt so much better about myself. And in that, I wanted to show other people, other, women, that they can do the same thing. And so that's kind of where it all came from for me.
Yeah, and a lot of people do have those jobs, and you carry that, you stay there, you're going to get it done. But
Mhm.
we tend to forget that we tire ourselves out, so we're not doing our best, because then we come home and run and try to do things. When my youngest son was at the daycare, if I made it home before 4:15, I would wash my makeup off,
Mhm.
jump into bed, take a nap, sit, and I would have the alarm set for like 5:30, so that I could go pick her up. Or either I'd
Yeah.
call my husband, tell him, "You need to pick up the baby." But I remember somebody told me, they said, "I don't see how you're doing it." I said, Because when they come home, I had one that was in daycare and one that was in middle school." I said, "So it's always something to do, and I love it. But I want to do something." And my mother told me this, and this was long years ago. When I first started teaching, I had paid all my bills and everything. I was like, "I don't have any money." And my mom told me, she said, "Buy yourself something each month that is just yours." And I mean, I was single then, no kids. And she said it could be a magazine, it could be some lipstick, and this is when lipstick probably costs like $1 or whatever. She said, so buy yourself one thing. And I've continued to do that, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It could be a good cookie, that I'm going to drink my coffee and eat. But like I said, I like the idea that. How did you come up with the name?
So it came from my grandmother, who she's like my best friend. I don't feel like best friend is the word to describe it. She was like my everything. So my grandmother, she passed away in 2019. And with that, I just felt like I wanted to do something to honor her. I know she was proud of me. We had those conversations, before she passed away, but I wanted to continue her legacy. I didn't know exactly what, but I wanted to continue her legacy. And so it's kind of backtracking. My daughter, she's 10 now, but she has a business. She has a lemonade business. She sells lemonade all around. We live in Dallas. So all around Dallas area, she's been on the news. She's won competitions and everything for her business. And so I don't know. I'm like, well, I want to do something too. I want to have a business as well. And so I didn't know what, and the self-care kind of came to me. I feel like God put it on my heart to share this with other women. And with that, I'm like, well, what am I going to name my business? And I just was like, I want to name it something that has to do with my grandmother, but I didn't know. And so I said, God, please help me come up with something. I want to honor my granny. I went to sleep. I woke up in the next morning and 100 XOXO came to me. She used to tell us like, all right, once you get off the phone, goodbye, 100 kisses, 100 hugs, or she would write in cards to us, 100 kisses, 100 hugs. And so that's, long story short, where the name of my brand came from. My grandmother, something she used to tell us.
Oh, okay. And I like the fact that you became an entrepreneur because your daughter inspired you. So maybe, that's a twist, but that's something that she's learning, early on. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people, they're kind of scared to step out on faith, but children are more apt to do it. They're more apt to step out on faith and go on. But yeah, I'm sure your grandmother is proud of you. And I know that you can buy a one-time thing, and and then a couple of months or whatever later you can buy another one, or you can do a subscription. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, so we have the option on my website, 100xoxo.com, where you can go to the subscription and you can purchase a subscription. So every time there's a new box, it'll get sent to your door. Each a different box, a different theme, different items for you to discover and explore and kind of help you create your self-care routine surrounding that. And so we try to make it pretty simple. You just go to the website and you click on the subscribe at the top, and you can subscribe and get the box every month. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. And it seems like it would be a no-brainer for a husband or a boyfriend to say, okay, hey, it's your birthday, we can do that. I know sometimes they're going to give you that day at the spa or whatever, but you're only going to go that one day,
Exactly.
And so this would just encompass the whole rest of the month for you.
Exactly. That's what we wanted to do.
And I saw the pillowcase. Some people might not understand the silk pillowcase. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we need to protect our hair. So the satin pillow, I thought the satin pillowcases would be a great addition to a nighttime routine. If someone doesn't already have one, having that satin pillowcase to protect your hair at night. And it just feels I have satin pillowcase, so it just feels so nice to lay on the satin pillowcases as well. And even the eye mask, because I like for it to be dark when I go to sleep. And so I put that little eye mask on and I'm out like a light.
Oh no, I have the satin pillowcases. Okay. And another thing that I was going to ask you, I'm looking at mine. Why do you think it's hard for women, and in particular because I know a lot of women who are probably your age and they're not married, they don't have kids, but they are so stressed out. I don't, I'm kind of going like, why? What is it? Is it, I do think social media plays a part in it because everybody else looks so good, you know? Yeah, and I always tell them that's a filter. I know that person. I've seen them. I mean, they're nice looking away. But what is it for young people? And when I say young, between 20 and even 40, what is it with these women that they don't do self-care?
I think there's just a lot of pressure to be a lot of different things. And social media to me plays a big part of it, not just for my age group, but also like I have a teenager, even my 10-year-old, they're exposed to so many things and they see so many things. And if you don't know better, you think that that's real. You think that's real life. You think that those are the expectations that you need to look up to. You think, oh, I should be further along in life because such and such is doing this, such and such is doing that. This is what's going on. I'm not there. And so I think a lot of the pressures of society can just stress us out if we're not careful and if we're not taking that time, not only for self-care, but taking care of your mental health if you need to seek professional help. Because that's something that's helped me as well, having a therapist that I can talk to. Also, I go to church. Going to church has helped me starting off my week with positive,
Mhm.
motivational with God. That's helped me a lot in my journey to being the best version of myself that I can be. And so I think it's a combination of a lot of things that just the society right now is just so stressed and having a hard time dealing with just everything that's going on.
And you said something that was really important. You have a therapist and you have your spiritual side. And again, my favorite minister used to always say, yeah, we're going to pray over it, but sometimes you need to seek help. And you
Mhm.
pray that you're seeking help from the right person. You know,
That
so
part.
I like that. Yeah. And that is a big deal. Okay, it's coming up on November, and I know you're going to have a box coming out.
Mhm.
Can you give us a sneak peek of what's going to be in it?
Yeah, so for November, I wanted to kind of celebrate Thanksgiving and sharing, with family and friends. The part of the box is going to be where you can share with a loved one.
Mhm.
So I thought that would be a great idea in the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. They can share.
Mhm.
Okay. Could you tell us where we need to go to purchase or to do a subscription?
Mhm. So if you want to subscribe to 100XOXO or check out any of the other products that we offer, you can head to our website. That's the easiest way. It's 800XOXO.com. You can also follow me on social media at
Mhm.
100 XOXO. I'm also on Facebook at 100 XOXO. I think I'm on TikTok too. I don't post a lot on TikTok, but I am on TikTok as well at 100 XOXO, and also do a lot of pop-ups around the Dallas Fort Worth area as well. So I have, I think, like 3 or 4 coming up November, December. So I always post them on my social media page. So if
Okay.
you wanted to come check it out in person, or check out a box or take a look at the journals and see what they look like on the inside, you can meet me at the pop-up. I would definitely love to see you.
Well, thank you so much. I
Mhm.
think people will be intrigued and want to purchase because we're all into self-help. And after the pandemic, that was the thing that we needed. We needed to become aware
Mhm.
of ourselves, to relax, to go on. So I enjoyed our conversation
Me too.
and I wish you well.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.